Hello. I'm so happy you decided to join me here today. Not only because I hope you will learn something, but because there is only one you, and you showed up. Philosopher Martin Buber said, every person born into this world represents something new, something that has never existed before, something original and unique. My name is Rachel Bailit, and today I will show you how to create and express authentically. The tools I am about to share will apply to all of your future communications. I will share a world-famous technique that I use with actors, politicians, museum educators, artists, and public speakers. I will present this in 4 parts. So let's begin. I think it's safe to assume that you have chosen your vocation because you have a small or loud inner voice calling to serve something greater than self. Your intuition is your guide, and it has brought you here today. It's your life's work to figure out your purpose in this world. If you want to do public service, you will need to reveal something of yourself, because people need to get to know and trust you. So in my training, the authenticity factor is huge. What a generous offer it is to share something of yourself in public communication. It takes the fear of being self-centered away, knowing that you are not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for other people. You are doing service by sharing. I like to say that when we communicate, we have a chance to give a gift. And if we open up to other people, then they can receive our gift. Through our expressed feelings and our ideas, others can feel and process, heal. We can guide them, open their minds, but it comes through us. In acting, we talk about our instrument, your body. It's the only art where it's not outside of you, like piano or clay or paint. It's the same in public speaking. You are the instrument. It's your lungs, it's your oxygen, it's your thoughts, your heart, your soul. It's coming up through you. So part of my work is to open that channel, remove the tension, the conditioning from society, parenting, anything that's closed you up. We have to be a certain way to survive in life. But now we're doing the opposite and saying, open up, it's okay, feel, express. That's an adjustment. In method acting, the technique I teach at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute, being you is your superpower. It's the foundation of all your potential to express unique ideas and points of view. Method acting is a tool to unlock yourself from any restrictions you or other people or society have put on you. And the first step in our work is to clear anything that gets in the way of pure expression. This includes habits, societal conditioning, and concerns with appearance in self. And of course, none of these are your fault, but are the result of years of being taught directly and indirectly how to look, sound, and behave. All of these inhibit you and can lead to mental and physical tension. So part 1, we will begin with the body. If we can eliminate tension, we can release energy, allowing the freedom to be you. This is the first part of your authenticity training today. It's what we call relaxation. I think of it more as awakening. This will be your preparation tool before you speak. The main purpose of this exercise is to release physical and emotional blocks that will interfere with expression. An important thing to know about my work, it's inside out, not outside in. That means that nothing is superficial or exhibitionism. It is all inspired from real feelings. It is that act of experiencing when we speak, not presenting. This exercise will train and sharpen your concentration, which is a necessity when speaking in public. Relaxation makes us present in the moment. Because I have so much to share with you today, I will show you the key areas that you will need to focus on when doing your relaxation. Now, This should only take about 15 minutes on your own time, but by all means, if you've got the time, go longer. Also, feel free to forward this video to get a comprehensive view on how this fits into the whole achievement of authenticity. You can come back to this later when you are ready to do your relaxation. The preparation is best practiced at home in a hardback chair, wearing comfortable clothing. We begin with the face. So sit back in the chair in a comfortable position. It's important your arms and legs are not crossed and the body is open. We begin with the face. Mental tension holds in the face like a mask. A person cannot be felt when the mask is on. So please take your hands and gently massage your eye area. Our eyes are biologically in a fight or flight state, but this much energy is not needed when communicating. Hence the expression, he or she looked like a deer in the headlights. Now, let your eyes close, like when you sleep, nice and heavy. Other mental tension areas to massage while you're on the face are the bridge of the nose and the jawline. The most important thing in this exercise is to check and see how you feel after each physical movement. The questions to ask are, do I feel like I've released something? And has a new energy come in its place? Understand that this tension has been there a long time and will run back in like a little mouse. So you will need to monitor the tension and release accordingly. I was told by an important politician that when interviewed on TV news, this is his hardest challenge, especially since he's a talking head and a close-up shot. But once you practice this manually in the future, all you will need to do is to send a message from the muscle and it will release. That's how you stay relaxed on TV or anywhere for that matter. This mind-muscle connection is at the center of our relaxation. It's also why we don't stretch while doing this, because that creates muscle on muscle, inducing more tension. For the rest of the warm-up, we will use big, loose movements. In addition, we use sound so we can start to connect our inside with our outside. You can speak out whatever's on your mind. I'm hungry. I can't stop thinking about work. This is crazy. Or we can make our standard exercise sounds, which are a long ha or a short ha, often used when releasing a muscle. Ha. We make these sounds so we learn how to express what we're feeling and we don't close down any impulses. So speaking out or making sounds while you're relaxing, while you're making the movements. From the face, we can move to the neck, which is another area of mental tension. 2 or 3 nice slow circles, really identifying where the tension is in the muscle. You can make a sound or not. Now, after we do this, we want to check, is it any different? And there are lots of ways to move your neck. You can go ear to shoulder. You can drop your head down between your legs and come up slowly. I want you to take care of yourself. If you have any injuries, of course, be careful in those areas and go nice and slow and easily and gently. If you're beginning to feel silly, don't worry, because everyone from Marlon Brando to Al Pacino to Bradley Cooper to Scarlett Johansson has done this very exercise and continue to do this in their dressing rooms before they go on set or stage. Okay, let's go to the hands. Tense hands are super awkward. Many public presentation coaches want to tell you where to put your hands. But what if your hands were motivated from within and they were an extension of your purposeful words? It's not what you look like, but what's inside of you. That will come up and out of the face and the body naturally. So you don't have to pre-plan that. Now, let's move to those fingers one at a time. slowly checking and releasing tension. I want to do nice, slow, loose movements with a bent finger a couple times, maybe one way and then the other, and then I check them. And this is so helpful when you're talking in public, really managing those hands. And as slow as I'm going now is as slow as you will actually go through the whole body. Okay, every movement is slow. And when I'm done, I check. And it's amazing after you've done the hand to compare it to the other hand, there's quite a difference that you will feel. Okay, from the hand, we're going to go to the wrist. And the best way to do this is one side of your body at a time. And if you just follow the muscle, you know exactly where to go. But I'm going to give you an idea of the order that I like. So I go from the face, check the mental tension, then to the hands, and then to the wrist. And the wrist is nice and relaxed, like a puppet. Okay, then to the arm. And again, you can see I'm going really slow and loose, kind of like spaghetti arms. And what that's doing is it's allowing myself mentally and physically to really slow down and to fall into myself and find my authentic rhythm. And we really always want to start our speech in our most comfortable place. So I will teach you how to do this in slow motion and then how to expedite it. Okay, I check it and I drop it. Okay. Most important is your back, believe it or not. There's a lot of tension. Trauma all sits in the back. And so if you swing towards the back of your chair, you can actually move one side of the spine at a time. And we want to move like a snake, really getting that spine. It feels so good not to have good posture. Again, do this with your eyes closed so you can really concentrate what's happening in your vertebrae. And then release, and then check and see if it's a little looser. And I would do one side of the spine at a time. We hold a lot of emotion in the back. So go deep or go home, as they say. It's interesting. I recently met the actor Bryan Cranston, who you may know from Breaking Bad. And he was performing at the Geffen Theater in Los Angeles. And he was so generous to talk to my acting students after the show. And he wanted to show us how he prepares. And what he did was exactly our relaxation. So he had been trained in our work. And this one movement, adding a little vibration of sound, he moved the core of his body with his arms open. You can try this at home. And it sounds like this. It really opens up your lungs. And that vibration massages your organs, gets you nice and loose. Okay, so, everything else in life, we have a preparation. We have a preparation if you're a basketball player, right? You're going to go shoot some hoops. If you're a ballerina, you're going to go to the bar. If you're a pianist, you're going to do scales. So it's natural that we should have a preparation for public speaking as well as acting. When you're finished with the back, you can turn around and we want to go into that stomach because that's the place those nerves love to travel when we get up in public. So really a kind of a circular movement will get the stomach muscles. And when I close my eyes, I'm really trying to feel what's happening in there. I can make a sound if I want. I'm so nervous. And owning how you feel, owning those nerves gives you back your power, expressing how you feel, not compressing feelings. So this work is really great in life. It's a win-win, whether you are a public speaker or not, whether you're talking about day-to-day communication. Learning how to tap into your most grounded, relaxed self is always going to help you. So once you get the back, you can travel around and keep shifting and trying new positions. I have actors that lay across the chair. They lay upside down off the chair. You can try the standing. Be creative, okay? Your body is unique. And so how you get into those places of tension will be different for you than it will be for me. The key is to be gentle with yourself, okay? The goal is to open up, because this is a journey of self-acceptance. Next, we are going to move our concentration to our right foot. So concentration is one purpose of this exercise as well, which I have not mentioned. So concentration is so important. If you're in front of 500 people, You don't want to be distracted, right? You want to be able to focus on what you want to say and who you're speaking to. So by doing this, if you've noticed, you probably haven't looked at your phone. You've probably been very intent on your body. And so as in acting, moving concentration is the same in public speaking. We're going to keep changing our concentration onto different subjects, and we want it to be really jet-eye strong. So I can look down at my right foot without even moving it, and I've now moved my attention down to my right foot. And so you can go ahead and wiggle the toes. Very hard to do them one at a time like the hand, but go ahead and wiggle them. And we want to bring energy to the lower half of the body so you're at ease when you communicate standing. And very often people who are standing get locked in. They have locked knees, locked legs. And you want to be able to speak. Maybe you want to move around the audience or your office. Maybe you don't want to stand still or feel limited. And so we want to release that energy. So right now we have blocks of energy and we want to move them around. And sometimes we can actually see a block of energy. If you shake your foot, or you have an eye twitch, or your hand shaking, that means you have some blocked energy there. So we want to move through that and express through that. So now we'll go to the ankle. We're going to do big, loose circles on the floor or in the air. Okay, whichever is more comfortable. Again, it's as slow as the wrist with the ankle. There's a lot of tension in the ankle. And then we drop it, and then we check it, either by rolling it or by moving it again, and see, does it feel any different? Compare it to the foot you have not done. Next, we go to the calf, and then we do the entire leg. It's a huge muscle. You probably only need to lift it or roll it on the floor 1 or 2 times. And we are moving it and we're assessing at the same time. And one important thing that Lee Strasberg, the man who created the technique that I teach, talks about is that we're always evaluating, that it's 90% doing and 10% evaluating. And it's the same thing with public speaking, because if we weren't evaluating, we could walk off our stage, or, we could bump into someone. And so we're always in charge. And so people will say, well, don't be in your head. Well, there's no way not to be in your head. You're always thinking. And with this technique, you're in control. So I'm aware that, let's say my right foot is shaking. I'm aware it's shaking, but I can release it very quietly. If I'm speaking and I feel that mask come on, drop my jaw, right? I can drop my shoulders. And only I know that I'm doing that. But the audience will energetically feel a sense of relaxation. Communication is very energetic. If you're tense, I feel that. So I spend a lot of my time checking tension, and I'm an expert at spotting it. And you have to become an expert on yourself. And it's good to practice. You can be watching TV and all of a sudden check your relaxation. You can set a timer on your phone, check your relaxation, and start to be aware of what your body does when it tenses up and when you're not paying attention to it. Okay, so we've moved the calf, the entire leg, we've assessed it. Did the movement accomplish what you needed it to, or do you need to go back and do it again? After we do the leg, we're going to move to the right hip. And that's what connects, obviously, our upper and lower bodies. And so we want to do small circles. You can put your hand on your hip, identify it, remove it, and then a small circle. Or you can slide sideways in your chair, releasing tension between the upper and lower torso. And so now you want to go back. We've done the right side, and we want to check everything that we've done. We can go through and check all those parts, upper and lower body. And we definitely want to go back to the face, really important. And if we feel like, no, there's no real interference, I always like to describe it like, is anything still sticking? No, everything's really loose. Then you can find a new position and you can move on to your left side. We're mirroring what we did on the right side. So that is our relaxation in a nutshell. And it's very easy to remember if you go in order of your body. Eventually, you won't do that. You'll go to the hot spots. You'll know where they are. I know it's my neck. I know it's my jaw. And you will follow, like breadcrumbs, you will follow that tension to different parts of your body where you need it at the time. Okay, congratulations. You have learned the first step to communicating with authenticity. You will now communicate without habit and convention, and tension will not interfere with your hard work. And when speaking, all you need to do is move your concentration to those places when needed and release. You can minimize the movements in public and you are now in control. Part 2 is setting an intention, and preferably one that is close to your heart so it's authentic. What you say is who you are. That in itself is a great opportunity for unique, impactful, and purposeful communication. Look inwards. This is an inner journey. What do you care most deeply about? What is your intention in this interaction? For example, I want to bring hope to the world with my project. Or I want to offer more people a chance at becoming educated and widen their world perspective at my library. Or I want people to better understand a problem in the world, thereby bringing compassion and calling people to action. Becoming more authentic means being thoughtful and precise in your communication. Part 3 is creating authentic content. Personalization is a big word in my teaching. Creating your speech or conversation dialogue is crucial. I often co-write or edit my clients' speeches with them because your selection of words is powerful and personal. Work every line and make sure you are connecting with your meaning, laying that meaning right on top of the words instead of letting the words do that for you in a conventional way. Your communication is your opportunity to share parts of yourself, not what you look like, but what's inside of you. But you have to have the words to convey what's inside of you. Talk about things that mean something to you. When you do this, you will forge an honest and a personal connection with whoever is on the receiving end. The more personal and specific we get, the more universal we are. Very likely someone in your audience has had a similar life experience as yourself. We are all human beings with feelings, memories, and aspirations. We all want to be seen and heard. And knowing this, you already have everything you need to relate to almost every human being on this planet. Professor Marshall Gans from Harvard describes public speaking as the ability to harness the power of narrative to the work of leadership by enabling us to communicate to others why we've been called. Not our title, not our resume, not all of our great accomplishments, but why are we here calling on them to join us? What is in our experience? What are the stories of our own experience that we can communicate? What are the moments? Because moment is the key unit of narrative. So above all, connect with personal experience. Part 4. After relaxation, I teach sense and emotional memory exercises. The idea is that all of your memories first entered your body through your 5 senses: touch, taste, sound, smell, and sight. So instead of struggling to pull up an emotion, we only need to return to the sensorial realities of that experience. Utilizing the senses when communicating invites the listener to experience through their own sensorial memories. We find a common language based on shared experience. Talk about getting real. I will provide exercises later to heighten your senses. For now, begin exploring and observing what's around you. Sensitize yourself and get present in the moment. Practice telling stories that include personal experiences, examples, and sensorial descriptions. Your communication will become colorful, textured, and exciting. If you choose, you can actively create with your sense memory. First, you can create objects, sounds, and smells to relax you before you speak. This will calm, sensitize, and focus you. Another way to create is when speaking to a group of people or a large audience, visualize and create a person in the audience that will feed your purpose or connection to the subject matter. You can also create a place, see it, smell it, or connect the images to the subject matter and memories you are discussing. You can hear the voice, live the experience out in real time. Your audience will be drawn to you versus you coming out to them. And lastly, be sure to connect with the place and people who are actually right in front of you. One smiling, supportive face in your audience can really ground you. Looking around in a beautiful surrounding can really inspire you. In my remaining time, I'd like to talk about how to structure your speaking and future resources. To recap, your new relaxation preparation is the key to bring your best self to the party. It's a game changer. You will feel confident and in command of yourself. As we discussed, part of your preparation is setting your intention, what you want to give or achieve from this interaction. Next, doing your research on the audience or the person that you will be talking to. What do you know about them? Who are they? What's at the heart of their goals and their needs? Are they similar to yours? If not, what's the common thread, the human thread, aligned with their heart? When you come from this place, it allows you both to be human. Relate to your audience. Gann says it's a form of social interaction, of interacting with others around the accomplishment of shared purpose under conditions of uncertainty. In addition, find subjects and stories that are inclusive. Don't be an expert, be one of them. So you're not talking at people, but sharing. It becomes a dialogue. Ask questions, make it interactive. Listen. Phrases such as, yes, and keep a conversation going. What a great question. Gives you time to think of your answer. I hadn't thought about that. Keeps you humble. When structuring your speech, build your thoughts, an introduction, a statement of purpose, how you'll format your speech, the body of your speech, and a closing recap and inspirational parting. In acting, we take it a step further. We have our need or intention, and then the hows. How are you going to get your need met? Through a heart-to-heart conversation, going down memory road, threats, jokes, guilt. This obviously involves more drama, but the choices you have in the hows of your speech can make your talks interesting as well. In our daily interactions, we can always put this training to use, relaxing, observing, connecting, and personalizing our work. I coach political candidates on everything from phone calls, door-to-door canvassing, fundraising, talking to constituents, to debate prep and speeches. Clear, transparent speaking always works best. Understand that you are enough. In daily communication, time is of essence. So training to be authentic, it helps you to feel like you don't need the filler conversation. When in doubt, be personable, let the person know you see and acknowledge them, and be direct. Getting comfortable talking about yourself, knowing why you are sharing takes training. You shouldn't expect to have that right away. But practice, it's a process. And sometimes it's charming not to be too polished. Your audience will think, oh, they're like me. I can relate. So be real. Sharing is a muscle you need to practice. There are many resources for training. A method acting class is a great place to start. Also, a class in improvisation will really loosen you up and help you to think and react quickly. A meditation routine will help you get mindful and centered. A yoga, dance, or Pilates class will open areas of your body to expression. Daily relaxation and observation will transform your body and mind to one of alertness, awareness, and sensitivity. And lastly, enjoy your life and find what authentically brings you alive. Perhaps you take time before your next speech or public interaction to daydream and sincerely remember that experience to put you in the right state of mind to be you. Becoming authentic requires relearning what it means to be human. understanding that whoever we are talking to is also human, whether that be a friend, coworker, or politician. Finding your voice matters. It's a gateway to turning your thoughts and ideas into actions. You are an original. Go forward and do great things. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me. I wish you the very best in everything you set out to do. It takes courage to be yourself, and I admire you for taking this journey.